A dramatic day of driving across important rivers and thrilling bridges in 3 states, with some classic Midwest windstorms and moments of gorgeous sunniness all jumbled together. This was an unusual day on the road. We spent day 41 at the hotel in Paducah, Kentucky. Ironically, we got more exercise than normal because we walked the half-mile to Walmart for trip supplies. Dinner was a diabetic challenge: Panera bread and their wondrous cavalcade of carbohydrates. I dialed up a big dose of insulin and had excellent blood sugars all evening. I guess we both needed the day off. Day 42 was a driving day and began along the simple back streets of Paducah to a request of Masayo's, the National Quilt Museum. Cameras aren't allowed inside, so I only have images from postcards to illustrate the visit. The quilts actually were quite impressive. Even I, a non-quilt fan, can admit it. Today we crossed 2 major American rivers on 2 spectacular bridges. This is the Ohio River, which, here, separates the state of Kentucky from Illinois. The Irvin Cobb Bridge, also known as the Brookport Bridge, is a very long and narrow one. It was built in 1929 and features 10 of these intricate blue spans. It took us almost 3 minutes to cross the entire thing. On the other side, you're in Brookport, Illinois, population 984. A cheerful welcome to the 14th state of the trip. A short drive from Brookport is the city of Metropolis, Illinois. It's famous for its Superman-related sites and activities. Even the local Big John supermarket gets in on the action in a non-copyright violation kind of way. But behind a government building off of 5th Street is the real thing: Superman Square, with its big statue and museum and souvenir shops. The city of Metropolis was established long before Superman in 1839. Later in the comics, Superman's hometown was also called Metropolis, and in 1972, both DC Comics and the state of Illinois agreed that this actual Metropolis would be declared the official hometown of Superman. The original plan was a $50 million theme park with a 200-foot Superman statue. This turned out to be a bit optimistic, so instead this 15-foot statue was put up behind the courthouse. I first heard about it because Barack Obama had his photo taken here in 2006. Southern Illinois was cloudy and dingy today, but that meant that fewer people were hanging around and we were able to get our photos and wander around the touristy square without much fuss. All in all, we were only in Illinois for about 2 hours. We passed through small towns like Karnak, population 430 and named for the temple complex in Egypt, and Mound City, population 526. And we started to see signs of flooding from a huge storm that had blown through 3 weeks earlier. The Ohio flows west and empties into the Mississippi River here, and there's a tiny sliver of Illinois with one little highway running through it, and that's what we chose. It goes through another Egypt-inspired place, Cairo, Illinois. In fact, all of southern Illinois is nicknamed Little Egypt because the rivers make the land fertile, just like the Nile. The sky kept changing drastically today, and it started for us in Cairo. At first, this city of 1,700 people looked run down and abandoned, but just 60 seconds later, it was sunny with nice big buildings. A little prelude for what came a couple minutes later: the Mississippi River and the beginning of the western United States. This is the Cairo, Mississippi River Bridge, also built in 1929 and about the same size as the Brookport Bridge earlier. It is seldom seen because most traffic uses the nearby Interstate 57 bridge. Anyway, on the other side, we were in our 3rd state of the day and the 15th of the trip, Missouri. After the photo op at the sign, immediately we could see the effects of the intense wind in Missouri. Huge dust clouds formed and trees swayed violently. We looked for a place for a picnic but gave up and ate in the car outside an abandoned building in Bertrand. The atmosphere was downright eerie as we drove along Highway 62 and then 60 through southern Missouri. The dust made it seem like some post-calamitous, futuristic hellscape, and all I could do was ponder the end of the world and try to keep the car steady as winds pounded us and semis whizzed past. But again, the sky kept changing. We finally emerged from the dust clouds and left the big highway for smaller Missouri Highway 76. Crisper clouds on a gentler and safer road, as long as you avoid the dogs. He was fine. 10 minutes later and it looked like this. We were now well inside the region known as the Ozarks, with its mountain ranges and, here, rolling fields and plateaus. Back to a sunny drive and ignoring all time and progress in favor of inspiration and enjoyment. Closer to the city of Branson, our destination today, there was a much more dramatic view of the flooding beside the road. This is Bull Shoals Lake, but this is what it usually looks like. The third cool old bridge of the day took us over the fearsome water and we were nearly in Branson. I knew nothing about Branson, having just chosen it as a convenient place to stay on the map. I must say the dramatic lighting today made it seem like we were approaching some holy angelic temple of a city. The reality was, well, Branson is super touristy. Fudge shops and shows and screaming signs and lots of American flags everywhere. It turns out that Branson is actually quite famous for all of this, a huge Midwest family vacation destination and a center for Ozark cultural festivals and stuff. We found the Dockers Inn, which seemed alright, and we gave in to the temptation of the nearby Pizza Hut for dinner. And other temptations. I think 24,000 points is pretty good for a guy who drove through the apocalypse all day and hadn't actually played Pac-Man in who knows how many years. Speaking of eating quarters, we had to keep putting them in the dryer at the hotel because it wasn't really drying our clothes. We must have done 3 cycles. Road problems. But hey, I'll take them over regular problems any day. Tomorrow we go south, deeper into the Ozarks for some camping at Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas.